Hey, what's going on, everybody? And welcome back to Fix Pro Tips. Of course, I'm your host, Coach Fig, and today I'm back with another one. And this one's going to be mighty. This one's going to be a true fireball. I will be breaking down and discussing who is Zohran Mamdani. Pros and cons, facts over feelings, what New York City should be looking out for, why they should be concerned, should they be concerned. I'm here to give you all the details and break it down based on facts and not feelings. So without further ado, let's get to it. All right, y'all. So unless you've been living under a rock, you would know that Zohran Mamdani has been campaigning to be the next mayor of New York City. He has been putting his best foot forward. He's been trying to spin narratives into his favor, and he hasn't really been truly transparent. He's been preaching to the people that would like to hear the type of things that he speaks about, which is, freeze on rental properties, free bus rides, free supermarkets, all the above. If you look him up across his social media platforms, he has no problem with stating that he is a socialist. And when he's on TV, he's telling the people that he is a socialist. If you know anything about socialism, and if you follow it throughout the history of time, you would know that socialism has never worked, and socialism, it will never work. And it's not going to be good for New York City if this man is elected. And just to point out another fact, this man is promising you all this free stuff. Well, guess what? As an assembly member, which he is currently a assembly member, and he's been an assembly member, he is in the position to do so. He's in the position to fight for these things. He hasn't fought for it since he got elected to be an official. Why would he start doing it now? But let's break it all down, and let me give you a proper introduction to who Zohran Mamdani really is. Okay, so it says right here that Mamdani was born on October 18th, 1991 in Kampala, Uganda. So that we already know he's not a legit American, right? He is a citizen, but he's not an American. His allegiance is not tied into the U.S. One thing that I want to point out as well is that aside from him being from Uganda, his beliefs do not align with American beliefs, which is what? We are a Christian nation. We are a God-fearing nation. Mamdani is not. Mamdani identifies as a Muslim. Now, some of you may wonder why I bring up the fact of him being a Muslim, and you might be questioning, what does that have to do with this? Well, on numerous occasions, when Mr. Mamdani has been asked the question or his beliefs or his feelings towards the intifada, he has refused to condemn it.
I want to ask you about an issue that has divided some New Yorkers in recent weeks. You were recently asked about the term globalize the intifada, if it makes you uncomfortable. In that moment, you did not condemn the phrase. Now, just so folks understand, it's a phrase that many people hear as a call to violence against Jews. There's been a lot of attention on this issue. So I want to give you an opportunity to respond here and now. Do you condemn that phrase, globalize the intifada?
That's not language that I use. The language that I use and the language that I will continue to use to lead this city is that which speaks clearly to my intent, which is an intent grounded in a belief in universal human rights.
But do you actually condemn it? I think that's the question and the outstanding issue that a number of people, both of the Jewish faith and beyond, have. Do you condemn that phase, globalize the intifada, which a lot of people hear as a call to violence against Jews?
I've heard from many Jewish New Yorkers who have shared their concerns with me, especially in light of the horrific attacks that we saw in Washington, D.C. and in Boulder, Colorado, about this moment of anti-Semitism in our country and in our city. And I've heard those fears and I've had those conversations, and ultimately they are part and parcel of why in my campaign I've put forward a commitment to increase funding for anti-hate crime programming by 800%.
Which means what? What is the actual meaning of intifada? It's what? It's like the shaking of or uprising. And therefore, what does that mean? He supports the uprising of the Muslim communities trying to attack and take over what they call the West. Why could this be problematic? Well, it's simple. If we have him in office, it means that Muslim ideology will have a direct impact on how laws are made and how people are treated in the U.S. I have no problem with someone wanting to live out their beliefs, but if you feel that strongly about them, live out your beliefs in your own country. Don't bring it over here. We're doing just fine without it, okay? We have plenty of examples of it. Look at what's happening in Europe, okay? Look at the mayhem that's happening out there. Look at Germany. Look just north of us. Look at Canada. There's madness going on everywhere. There's people praying at all times of hours in the middle of the streets, causing traffic, and the locals don't have any authority. They can't say, they can't oppose it. It's out of control, okay? And right here in the U.S., in Minnesota, okay, in Minnesota, we have I want to say a congresswoman with Muslim beliefs. There's a mayor with Muslim beliefs, and they have the largest Muslim community in Minnesota. And let me show you guys what's going on over there. And if we don't take control of it, it will continue to happen throughout the country. And eventually, the fight will be in our backyard.
I'm here in Minnesota, home to one of the largest Muslim populations in all of America, to witness the rise firsthand. I'll be speaking with Muslims, Christian Americans, all Americans, entering in the mosque, asking the questions you guys want answered, from 9/11 to Sharia law, everything in between. There are no questions that are off the table for this video. What are some large misconceptions about Islam here in the United States?
That Muslim women are suppressed.
And what makes you choose to wear the hijab?
My religion, I started wearing the hijab when I was 16 years old.
And what would happen if you didn't wear that hijab?
Nothing would happen. It's your choice.
And why do you think Islam is the largest growing religion here in the United States right now?
It's your choice in the West, but if you live in a Sharia law country and you take that off, bad things happen.
Because of our Quran, our Quran, our book never changes. It's one book, one language, one religion. There's Islam in all over the world.
Do you think Islam will eventually overtake Christianity here in the United States?
Worldwide, not just United States.
Wow.
We have people converting every day.
While we were inside of Cedar Riverside, we actually met a lady who had left the Islam faith.
So are you a Muslim woman or no?
I'm not. My parents was Muslim.
How come you left Islam?
Because they control me. They control my clothes, and it's not good.
Do you think women are suppressed?
Yes, of course they breast. It's not. They don't want to, but being female, they're afraid to get killed. So that's why they wear hijab. They wear big clothes. But me, I don't want clothes. I don't want to wear. But this need to be stopped. People, they have to wear whatever they want.
So if
President Trump, you have to tell President Trump. You have to tell me a message. Females, they have this United States, they have freedom. They can wear whatever they wanted, but Islamic, they breast females to wear these hijabs.
So if you're a woman in Afghanistan and you don't wear the hijab,
they kill you. They don't want you if you don't wear hijab. Even me, I wear this because they don't want me to wear a pant.
Because they believe in Sharia. If Sharia comes to the US, very similar outcomes can come out of it. That's why I'm wholeheartedly rejecting Sharia coming to the West, despite the fact it's already happening.
Yeah, I'm afraid that's why I wear this. So it's not the way you think.
All right, y'all. So as you've seen in those two little clips that I just shared with you, we already have this Muslim community spreading within our country, Minnesota, the city of Minneapolis, with the current buildup of a Muslim mayor. They have Muslim individuals within the Senate and things of that nature. Think about what that means if we continue to lose these positions in other states to like-minded individuals. Zohran Mamdani becomes the mayor in New York, he now has that support from his counterparts in Minnesota. And there's so many others that just aren't making noise just yet. Think about Zohran Mamdani. No one knew about this guy. All of a sudden, he just made a big splash. He's advocating for socialism, right? If you understand history, you know socialism has never worked and it never will work, okay? Him being the mayor of New York City, the epitome of capitalism, would cripple the economy. It would cripple all New Yorkers for sure. And ask yourself this: where does he plan on getting all the funding for all this free stuff he's promising? Free bus rides, free supermarkets, frozen rent. Speaking of the frozen rent, how is it that someone that makes well over 6 figures a year is able to live in an affordable housing? Explain that to me. He is occupying a unit that was designed for individuals that don't make a lot of money. That's why it's called affordable housing, affordable income housing. And he's occupying that space. And regardless of what your take is on it, when he first occupied the space, maybe he didn't make the money, blase, blase. You know what? Cry me a river. Zohran Mamdani does not know poverty. He does not come from poverty. Don't talk to me about him being born in Uganda. He came to the States at the age of 7. His father is a professor at the University of Columbia. His mother is a well-known actress and has her own film production company. She has a $2 million house in New York City. Cry me a river. This man does not need affordable housing. He's exploiting it. Now, you might be asking, what's the point of me bringing up him being Muslim? What's the point of me bringing up his dad being a professor at the University of Columbia? What's the purpose of me speaking on his mom having a film company? What's the purpose of me bringing up his salary? And why am I even worried about him having affordable housing? Well, I look at the big picture. I play the long game. And when I break it all down, I like to give you guys facts over feelings. Here's some facts. A person that is fully invested and has plans or intentions on bettering their environment would be invested. Now, you tell me what is the most common way to show that you're invested with your community would be what? Maybe buy a house. It's New York. Maybe buy a condo, right? Be invested in that. But instead, he has his money invested in Uganda, where he has an undisclosed amount of property. And he was recently in Uganda on his family compound back in Uganda as well, celebrating his wedding. And congratulations to him and his wife and all of the above. You know, marriage is a beautiful thing. However, I'm here to give y'all facts over feelings. If this man was really invested in New York City, he would buy something in New York City. Instead, he's taking advantage of affordable housing programs that are designed to help the locals that really need it, those that struggle with the day-to-day bills. This man, once again, like I said, it is documented that he makes well over 6 figures, okay? 2023, it was listed at $142,000. If you look it up now, it's $150,000 to $250,000 appraisal. His finances aren't public, so it's you kind of got to go for what he says. However, my gripe, the point I'm making here is, if you're really invested into New York City, why don't you own in New York City, and why do you have land in Uganda? And like I said earlier, socialism has never worked. So with that being said, keep that in mind. The way I see it, he wants to come to New York City, make scrambled eggs, and then run back home. New Yorkers need to wake up, because you will be the ones impacted by this the most. And us as a country, we need to wake up to it, because we have, like I said, Muslims already in position in Minnesota, in the city of Minneapolis. The governor of New York is very supportive of the Muslim community, and she's even gone as far as wearing the hijab. This is a white American woman putting on a hijab. That is insane. That is insane. Imagine bringing a Muslim person to a Christian church or a Catholic church, and you tell them that based on our beliefs, when you come in, you must remove your hijab. You must take off your turban. No. Leave your shoes on. Imagine that. Imagine the cries of disrespect that people would take to the streets. We got to wake up, America. This is our land. United we stand, divided we fall. All right? The media got all this crazy narratives out there. They keep trying to pin blacks and whites and Spanish against each other, all of the above. And in reality, we have an invasion going on. And this is not no fear porn. I don't promote that. I'm against fear porn. This is a wake-up call, y'all. And why do I care so much? I'm born and raised in the Bronx, New York. I was born in Lincoln Hospital. All right, y'all? I went to every school you could, well, not every school, but I literally went to all the main schools you could think of, from elementary to middle to high school, okay? Columbus High School. Look me up. That's where I went to school at. All right, y'all. Come in a little bit. Let's talk about it. Why do I keep stressing the Muslim thing, the Muslim ideology, the Muslim belief, the intifada, Sharia law, right? This is the ultimate goal. This is all they speak. This is what they want. They want to take care of the West, take over the Western society. They do not agree with our views. They do not agree with the way we live life. They would like to do away with us and replace us. And if you lay down and roll over, that's exactly what they will do. But now, like I tell you all the time, I give you facts over feelings. So allow me to provide facts. Allow me to show you. You know, we have this saying, we have this thing where we go, hey, surround yourself with a certain amount of people and eventually you become the next one, right? So let me show you the man that raised Mamdani, his views and his beliefs. Let me show you one of his close friends, her views, her position. If this is what you surround yourself with, you mean to tell me that he's not influenced by that? You mean to tell me that he doesn't share similar views? I'm not saying he might be spot on with all of it, but you gonna tell me that there's not gonna be a certain level of influence with that? If you truly believe that, then I'm gonna pray for you. Because how does it really work? Even let's just say, even if I'm off with that, you're guilty by association. If you in the car with me that I stole and we get pulled over, the police are gonna say, what? You going with me, boy. You are going with me. No one gets a pass. That's the way that works. That's the reality. But let's get to the facts. Forget about the feelings so we can move on. So now that you've gotten a quick glimpse of what his father stands for and what his views are and why I say that would play some sort of role in the way Mamdani processes things, let's pivot real quick to his friend. And so she can share her views from her mouth. And then we can revisit and maybe start to have a better understanding on why I felt the need to put this together.
The conversation of doxing, the conversation of getting arrested and suspended, I think it's time for Muslims to start to say, all right, so what? Do what you want. I'm gonna do what I gotta do, because it's about time to do that. And I know everybody has their own families and has an education and everything. It's just a question. We don't want to get doxed and we don't want to get suspended and we don't want to get arrested. How gangsta are you? That's just my question. How are you willing to do it? And I know everyone has their own risk levels, but at the end of the day, that's a question to ask ourselves. How committed am I to this? To what extent of my personal material gains am I willing to sacrifice for this bigger noble cause. And subhanAllah, I truly believe that when your heart is in the right place, if you get suspended, if you get doxxed, because it's bound to happen when you're doing a righteous cause and when you're doing something for the sake of Allah here in the West, it will never ever be in vain. And the true believer does not fear that, because the true believer knows that the akhirah is a promise.
So again, that's exactly why I'm pointing all of this out. If you believe that Zohran Mamdani is looking to be the mayor of New York City and really has the best interest of the people at heart, you are sadly mistaken. If you are not part of his agenda, if he can't use you, he doesn't need you. He doesn't want you. He never will. You're not going to be accepted. I'm going to show you guys what the actual agenda is for those that believe in Islam, for those that live by that ideology, and maybe it will allow everyone to put it all together, put the pieces in place, and maybe this what this man has to say, maybe this will be that opening call, that call that brings that true awareness to you all.
White people, if you are white and you're listening to this, listen very closely. Lately I've been seeing many of you complaining about Islam and the immigration and stuff like that. And I'm going to separate the white people in two categories. The Americans, Canadians and Australians do not count, because they are white people that live in a country that's not theirs. You guys have invaded those lands from the rightful owners. So when you guys get back to Europe, then we can talk. But for the European white people complaining about immigration and Islam, first of all, I want to tell you that Islam is going to take over every single square inch of the globe. And you guys might think that it's going to be us, dark-skinned people, that are going to take over. No, it's going to be your own people. As you can see how fast Islam is growing, in the next 10 to 15 years, every white person is going to have a Muslim member in his family. Nowadays, you see white Europeans with blue eyes and blonde hair reverting back to the truth because they have finally seen the truth. And the thing is, there's nothing you guys can do to stop it. You guys can hate Islam as much as you want, and I want to thank the Western media for spreading Islam. A lot of weak-minded Muslims think that the media is picking on us and bullying us, but really and truly the Western media is working with us. They have succeeded in spreading Islam, but intentionally. A lot of people did not know about Islam, but nowadays we are the most talked about religion on the media, and thanks to the Western media for spreading the truth. And so I want to say there's nothing you guys can do to stop Islam, nothing. And also, just to add it, the weak Muslims are the ones just to add it, sorry about the noise, just to add, it's the weak Muslims that always talk about Islam being a religion of peace. Islam is not. It's not a religion of peace. It does not mean peace. It means to submit to Allah, and it is a religion of justice. Put that in your head. It's the weak so-called Muslims, the cowards of this ummah, that claim that Muslims are religion of peace. I want to clarify that as well. Islam is a religion of justice. We can be peaceful, but when it comes to it, we know how to defend our land, our religion, and our honor.
So hold on. Did you catch that? Is this starting to click now? Is this starting to make sense now? Islam, a religion of peace? That man spoke nothing of peace. That man said what? He said what? He said, thank you for spreading the news. Thank you for spreading the word. Thank you for making Islam the #1 topic when it comes to this. So you can sit here and dance around a topic all you want and pretend like you can make a difference. You can sit here and pretend like this is not a part of the Mamdani mindset. Because to support the intifada is exactly what this man was talking about. This is exactly what the intifada is about. Okay? And when Mamdani was presented with the question, he refused to give a simple, all he had to do was say, I stand against that. I don't support erratic Islam. That's all he had to say. But he would not be able to go back to those that he's doing this for. So again, and this is not just to single out Mamdani. This is literally for everyone to pay attention to every Muslim individual that runs for anything in office. And if you ask me, if you're not a born, raised citizen in the US, you should not be able to run for any office. That's my personal point of view. How are you making decisions for the American public? And you're not an American yourself. Sure, you have citizenship, but you're not an American yourself. You come to this land, you take advantage of this great nation, and then this is the rhetoric you want to bring. This is the hidden agenda. Everyone wants to see America fall. And lately it seems like even Americans want to see America fall. If you get Zohran Mamdani elected as the mayor of New York City, all right, listen, y'all. New York City will become Gotham City. Let's be clear about this. The man's offering you free bus rides. The man's offering you, government-owned supermarkets, aka free supermarkets. He's offering a freeze on rent. If you fall for that, you will sell yourself and your people out for a $2 or $3 bus ride. And once this gets going, it's going to be almost impossible to turn it back. Y'all need to pay attention. Y'all need to really understand how this works and how it will impact generations to come. Because for those of you that aren't aware, Muslim women are producing babies about 3.1 versus American women producing about 1.6. It's a numbers race at this point. Numbers don't lie. At this rate, 10, 15, 20 years from now, Muslim will be the dominant population. That's why it's important to take control, because if they're the ones voting, if they're the ones making it to the polls, guess what, y'all? Numbers don't lie. What they say, strength in numbers. And when you have multiple Muslims or Muslim-minded individuals in office, and they posing these new laws and they making these new changes, because this is a democracy that we live in, they will be able to vote on it. And when the numbers are against you, there's no way you will win. And just like that, they will be able to bring Sharia law into the U.S., just like the Europeans failed to put a stop to it, and they passed it. This Sharia law in Europe, it's only gonna get worse, y'all. It's only gonna get worse, y'all. These folks are allowed to pray multiple times a day. They're allowed to blast it through the speakers. They're allowed to stop traffic. They're allowed to do all these things. And if you speak out against it, how dare you? Well, guess what, y'all? I don't have a problem with speaking out, because I'm giving y'all facts over feelings. I hope you guys get something from this. This is part one of a 2-part series. The second part to this, I'm really gonna deep dive. So I'm giving you this as a appetizer. Main course is coming in hot. I'm Coach Fig. Thank you for your time. Catch another one. And I'm out of here.